Aaron Rodgers cannot announce anything because he's technically still a player on the Green Bay roster. And nothing's going to happen until that trade is consummated. And, it may take until Friday. It could take until next week. But I want to say the one person, outside of this studio that has been pretty accurate with the way that she has covered this whole thing, and I got to give her a lot of credit because she's putting all the dots together correctly, is Diana Rossini from ESPN.
Love Diana Rossini.
Yeah, and she's been on top of this in terms of making sure people understand exactly what Aaron Rodgers wants and what he's asked of the Jets. And again, I'm just going to say, you don't give the Jets a wish list if you're not coming. So I don't know what else to tell you. So just a matter of time before he gets here. I don't know if he'll be here when we're on or not, or whether it be next week, or the Packers are just being a little bit dicey here just to make it difficult on him. Whatever speculation we can come up with. But at the end of the day, all that really matters is that he's going to be the quarterback for the Jets. The Jets, if for some reason, which is like a 1% reason he doesn't come with the Jets, they are going to look so foolish.
Oh, sure.
And so ridiculous that, this whole thing would be a house of cards crumbling down, and the guys running the team would look idiotic. And that's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, that's not going to happen. That's why they're doing what they're doing. They know what it takes. They know what the numbers are, and he will be the quarterback of the Jets. It's just a matter of time. So the fact that they signed Allen Lazard yesterday, great signing, just another indication that Aaron Rodgers is coming here. I love the Giants signing of Darren Waller. If Darren Waller can stay healthy on the field, he's really a hybrid tight end. He's not a blocking tight end. This is not the second coming of Mark Bavaro. This is more Jeremy Shockey. This is more Evan Ingram. That's the type of player he is. The problem with him is he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, last 2 years he has not.
Right. So the last 2 years, Lamar Jackson hasn't stayed healthy. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of that's going on. And I'm sure what's being written about Darren Waller around here now is exactly what was being written about Evan Ingram when Jacksonville signed him. First-round draft pick, hasn't really found his way, doesn't have big numbers. Well, they had crappy offense here. Daniel Jones wasn't a Daniel Jones that we saw this year. So he had very little opportunity to even show himself. And when he did show himself, he usually dropped the ball.
You're talking about Evan Ingram.
Yes. So he now goes on to have like an 80-catch season for Jacksonville with a top-end quarterback, and they've slapped the franchise tag on him.
Yeah, another one-year deal for him.
Okay, so this is, unless they come to an agreement and extend his deal. But, that's the kind of player Darren Waller is. So I'm sure Giant fans are excited about that. This, by the way, is a deep draft for tight ends. Mm-hmm. So they can get a blocking tight end or what you would call a stereotypical old school type end in this draft because they're going to need one. But this just adds another opportunity for Daniel Jones to throw the ball down the field. So it's a smart trade, and it's a smart addition for the New York Giants as well.
Yeah, and everybody was saying, the Giants turned the Kadarius Toney trade into Darren Waller. Okay, technically, because that's the pick they got back from the Kansas City Chiefs that they ended up trading away to get Darren Waller. But one thing that you can't forget in that equation is they wasted a first-round pick on Kadarius Toney. So the only way that goes, apples to apples is if you totally forget that Kadarius Toney was a first-round pick.
But you have to remember that Darren Waller was a first-round pick.
Okay, but
so they essentially they got rid of one first-round pick and brought back another first-round pick. And basically what was in between that was a third-round draft choice from the Kansas City Chiefs.
But here's the thing. Darren Waller produced for the Raiders those 2 years in a big way in 19 and 20. In the last 2 years, not so much in 21 and 22 because he was hurt. But when he was out on the field, he was still productive. Kadarius Toney did absolutely nothing for the Giants.
So I think it's a giant win then.
Yeah, it's 100%. And quietly, as the Jets are just spinning their wheels in the Aaron Rodgers mud, the Giants are making very, very shrewd and smart football moves.
I mean, they just brought in Allen Lazard. Now the interesting thing is what's going to go on with Corey Davis. Do they cut Corey Davis, or is Corey Davis a part of the trade package going back to the Packers?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, sure, it would make sense. I mean, if you want to cut, if you want to connect the dots, but there's still some movement and stuff that have to go on. But again, 100% sure, and I'm not going to say his name. We all know who he is. We all know that he's coming here, And
You're not going to say his name.
No, I'm not going to say his name until.
You're not going to say his name for the rest of the show?
I think people out there are annoyed already. I know Al Dukes is annoyed because I look at Al Dukes and I say the name and I talk about the situation. Al Dukes immediately starts frowning and says, "I hate this. I can't stand this anymore." And admit it, Al.
Yeah, it's enough. There's no new things.
Well, there was a new thing yesterday.
Oh, there was a new thing
There
yesterday.
was a new
Al.
thing
You weren't paying
yesterday.
attention.
Right. Well, it was the wish list and it was also the fact that he's going to talk today. I mean, those two things
Yeah,
are.
so what's he
are
going to
new
say
things.
today on McAfee? That'd be fun. You know, and he's also smart because he's making the McAfee show a relevant show.
Yeah.
Because of this situation. Not that it's not relevant. It's more relevant than ever before because of this situation.
Yeah. So what? I mean, if he can't announce the trade himself because that's just not something you can do, is he just going to go on there and say, "I'm not retiring," and we're having conversations and we'll see where it ends up?
Well, unless somehow, some way, the trade is already agreed to. He knows that it's agreed to, but he wants to be the one to announce it. I don't know. That could be the case too with him. You never know.
Maybe. That it's
I
true.
was trying to think where we were going to take it for lunch down here in Tribeca.
There's no way. There is no.
Well, we're not taking him to Westfield. That would be a freaking embarrassment because if he's a modifier and we take him there.
So there's a graphic up here.
Yes.
It says, has he landed? CBS Sports Monday. Trey Wingo reported that
Stop
Rodgers
with the
has
Trey
been
Wingo stuff.
traded to the Jets. In parentheses, nobody else has confirmed this report. In parentheses. Thoughts?
Not even Dove Kleiman, huh? Man, that was a firestorm yesterday.
Oh
huh?
my God! 426,000 views.
Right.
So if you missed this yesterday, Dove Kleiman is a compiler, an aggregator, an aggregator on Twitter who takes everybody else's reports and then puts them in one place. And he's got a blue check mark and he calls himself NFL Dove Kleiman. And then yesterday, it just hit me. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And you can't find a picture of him. And I just wanted to talk about it. Little did I know other people cared about that so much that you saw any tweet that we put out there with hundreds of responses, 426,000 views on that video. And apparently, Al wakes up to a DM this morning from Dove, not apparently this happened, Dove Kleiman, who said that the New York Post reached out to him and did a article on him that it's going to come out at some point today.
Yeah, everybody's trying to figure out who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, and then there's all these theories that are coming out about there's something about a restraining order that people think he's involved with, and he had a fake name, and it's nuts.
Hey, I got told that somebody in our business who I really do trust and I do really like. I'm not going to mention his name, but this person reached out to me yesterday and said he believes that Dove Kleiman is a plant for Tom Brady because of all the positive Tom Brady stuff that the guy puts out there. I'm like, I don't know, man. This has gotten crazy. Man.
It is, but I mean, this is what happens if he's. So I guess there's a picture of him that's going to be in this article. You didn't FaceTime with him yesterday, Al, right?
I did not.
No, I'm
Okay.
disappointed. You were supposed to FaceTime with him. And instead of FaceTiming with him, you're FaceTiming with Whimsy all over the place, telling everybody how Whimsy's doing.
Yes.
I'm glad she's doing well. You're claiming she's still a pain in the ass, though.
She is.
All right. Well, maybe you're the pain in the ass. You ever think about
Perhaps.
that?
I have thought
she
about
probably
that.
looks at her human and goes, man, how'd I get stuck with this pain in the ass? I guarantee you that's
Very
what
possible.
she's saying.
Yeah. Well,
What
yeah.
a pain in the ass he is. You know, and I feel her wrath. I do. I feel her pain, I should say.
Yeah. Of all the people.
Of all the people,
This
I
is
get
where
stuck with
this
this
is
guy.
where I ended up. But yeah, so this Dove Kleiman thing took off. I had no idea. So he's going to apparently, here's the thing too. Like he put out something because Awful Announcing put out the video and it just blew up. And he responded to the video and he's like, all I'm doing is taking news and putting it in the same place for, viewers and people on Twitter to be able.
He's like Drudge.
He's like, I don't put clicks in there or articles and try to make money off of this. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell are you doing? So you spend your entire day taking other people's reports and putting it out there on Twitter and you're not getting paid for any of this?
Well,
like,
maybe
what exactly are you doing?
Maybe he's a billionaire.
I doubt it. I mean, if everybody's saying that he was some sort of internet troll and was obsessed with actresses and stuff, I don't believe he's a billionaire.
Yeah, but we don't know that for a fact. This is your internet news coming at you, right?
Okay, but I mean, I'm telling you that this is like every responds the same
Post,
way.
So the Post is doing an article on him? So is it on their website or?
He said it's supposed to be up this morning, he believes.
Is it Marchand who did this or who did this?
I'm not sure I can effort that.
It's either.
Why don't you Zoom with him right now? I'm sure he's up listening.
He is up listening.
Yeah, so why don't you Zoom with him right now just to make sure that, he's a real guy and he's a real person.
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't know what the hell.
Why don't you bring him on? Let's.
He doesn't want to come on.
Why not? I mean,
he told Al he didn't want to come on.
But he doesn't like to do live things because he doesn't find himself interesting.
Yeah, okay. No, what it is.
Well, you would love him then. He's right up your alley because you're not interesting.
Imagine if Al and Dove Kleiman become fast friends and they're hanging out.
He probably lives in Bradley Beach and he's probably part of the Neighborhood Watch Association.
Yeah. But I don't know. He probably doesn't want to be on live because if we start pressing him on these questions, he's not going to be able to answer them. That's what I would think.
Right,
not because he's not interesting. You know how many non-interesting people do radio spots all the time?
I'll just FaceTime with him and just make sure he's a real. I guess he's a real person, right? I know. It seems like it now.
Listen, I did not come up with these theories about the restraining order. Everybody else did that responded to my tweet. I have no idea if it's true, but that's what everybody said. Do you know about this? Have you seen this? Do you know about that? I'm like, well, no.
Marchand did not do the interview. The other fellow, Ryan Glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel?
Ryan Glockenspiel. I believe it's Glass-Spiegel is the other post-media reporter.
Glockenspiel.
Yeah. So
what is a glockenspiel anyway?
Musical instrument.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's like a percussion
organ?
instrument.
Is it like an organ?
No, it's like a percussion instrument.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.